tonight, but we just didn't have that pop. We could see the guys were short on all their shots. We couldn't get that extra step into the paint that we needed to generate more driving kicks. And this was the end of 6 and 9, so it wasn't just the back-to-back. It's 6 games in 9 days, and we went 3 and 3 out of that. So overall, I'm pretty proud of our guys, the way that they fought. And, obviously we're in here playing the champs and on a back-to-back with travel, early game, all that stuff, but I'm proud of how we played.
That bench unit that came back to make the comeback and cut the lead, and then I'm curious down the stretch why you decided to play Bruno with the starters.
Yeah, so the energy that the second group brought was really good. Daishen was pushing the ball up the floor. Tari was doing his thing with his rebounding and his finishing at the rim. Josh Christopher gave us a nice boost with his energy. And then I put Bruno in because Us was tired. So I wanted to put Bruno out there, and I like Bruno and Scoot together because of the lob threat, and with Scoot's size, he can make the plays.
Tari has had 2 really good games against the Warriors. What does he bring against the champs, and what have you seen as far as maybe he ups his game against these great guys?
I don't really know. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but for a competitor to get up and play against the champs, that's what you want. And he was at LSU last year watching the finals, probably man, I wish I could be there and be in that situation, and now he is. So for anybody, it would be a great opportunity to be in this building, to be playing against this team, but we don't want to just play against them. We want to compete and do what we can to win games.
Coach, kind of just to that point, Warriors kind of blitzed you early, a lot of ball movement, a lot of threes, doing kind of Warriors-type stuff. What's the biggest thing that your young group can take away from playing against a team like that and watching that firsthand?
There's a long list of things that we can learn from this group, but their unselfishness is contagious amongst their group. And tonight it was Wiggins, right? And they were figuring out ways for him to get shots. It can be Steph one night. It could be Draymond one night. It could be Poole. It could be Clay. And the way that they play and the way that they move the ball, like you're talking about, is something that isn't natural for most teams. They play differently than most teams in the league. They're very well coached, obviously, but they have an unselfishness that creates that ball movement and creates all those hard situations that you have to guard. So that's one of the things that we can learn from them as far as our ball movement. Was just okay tonight, but you have to be great. They had 34 assists and we had 17.
You talked a lot about 6 games in 9 nights. How much of that is underrated for a young group? Going on the road, travel, practice time is limited. Now you have a game like you had last night against the Suns, then come back the next night against the defending champs. How much of that is just fatigue?
A lot of it is. I mean, these guys are playing a lot of minutes, and they're young, and first and second year players. Takes a lot of mental fortitude, and that's one of the things that we're showing. That we could have easily just let go of the rope at the beginning of this game, but we didn't. We continue to fight, and the mental fortitude that's needed to compete and get the game back to 6 points is not necessarily something that you see from a lot of young teams. So I'm proud of the group that we have in the locker room and their fight, and we showed it last night, and we showed it again tonight, and we continue to show it. Like I said, the second Denver game and the Milwaukee game are the 2 that we just basically laid an egg, but every other game we've been right in.
Overall, what did you make of the looks that you guys did get from 3 tonight?
Not great. We were a step slow. We were, contested for sure. So not great.
It seemed like Kevin Porter Jr. was really determined to drive inside, draw a lot of contact. He had some success with that in the first half. Did the Warriors do anything differently against him when he did play in the second? It seemed like he didn't have as much success.
Some of it could have been fatigue. He was getting down in there early and doing a good job of either finishing or getting to the free throw line, but he did have some open threes. He had some. They were going under. There were some cross matches those some shots that he generally makes. So when they give him the three, he's going to shoot the three.
I think you got outscored.
Hey man,
How are you?
Good.
I don't know, 60, 70 points. You got outscored on threes, and I think you finished 3 for 28.
Yeah.
What's your thinking in terms of, hey, we got to keep taking them because that's the game, and eventually that percentage has to shift, or you're like, it's not our, and we're eating when we get inside. Like, I don't. What's your sort of approach with your team when you're in that situation when it's that lopsided?
Actually, for us to take 28 threes out of 91 shots is super low for us. so we were attacking more than shooting threes. We would usually be in the 40s if we're shooting 91 shots. So, and a lot of the twos that we get are offensive rebounds or crashes. But yeah. We have a philosophy of being a rim team and a three-point shooting team, and to waver off that game to game isn't good for my young guys. So I try to be as simple and solid as possible when it comes to game planning and philosophy and that kind of thing, so we can grow to be a team like the Warriors.